Let's go.
Ready. Free Alabama movement. We'll continue with the video series. Next man up, TREY. I met TREY the first day he came to prison. I seen him walking through the G yard going to the shift office. I saw how young he looked. He looked young as my kid. And I went to grab him, to find out what his name, where he was from, how much time he had, what gang he was associated with, so I can make sure I lead him in the right direction. And send to some positive leaders and guys who's gonna make sure he didn't, become a victim of this system. And I've been knowing him ever since. We had convicts against violence. He was a part of that. He came to the classes. He worked to get his GED. Never had a problem out of it. He just was a young man who made some mistakes that caused him to be in prison. And once he got here, they don't have anything to offer to try to help him rehabilitate himself. But he's a real big thing, very mannerable, respectable young dude. Are you still in TC program? He's still in TC program, doing the things that he mature enough to understand that he had deficiencies and that he needed to do some things to make himself better. And he's attacking those deficiencies, but he doesn't have any real understanding when he's gonna get free. So I'm gonna let him introduce himself, tell me his name, how much time you got, how long you been incarcerated.
My name's TREY. I'm from Jefferson County. I got 2 life sentences, 2 years, and I've been locked up for 6.5 years.
Okay, 6.5 years. You say 50 years?
2 life sentences, 50 years.
2 life sentences and 50 years. All right. What you got all that time for?
Sentencing murder at home.
Okay, all right. So, do you have your GED now? You got your GED? What, you in trade school?
I graduated.
Oh, you graduated? Which trade you graduated?
Brick mason.
So you got a GED, graduated brick mason. Now he's in the TC program. I know you completed classes in convicts against violence, but they ended up taking all our certificates out of that because that program was ran by majority black inmates, and they felt like a black man doesn't have any credibility to as far as education goes. So some of that stuff may not be in your file, but I know you got that. So tell us what you're doing now for yourself on a day-to-day TC program, what that's like for you.
Well, you just putting women up in the morning, 7 o'clock, gotta be out of bed at 7. Have your bed stuff made up. By 8 o'clock, they bring you outside because they do a open door cleanup on the people who's supposed to be inside. So not like be outside in the cold every morning for real. Thin jackets, everybody probably not seeing the jacket thing. That's They're very, very thin.
Well, here go one on right here in case they ain't seen it. It get real cold up here. We're in central Alabama, Birmingham. And as y'all can see, there's no insulation or nothing. You just got you a little piece of, what is this stuff made out of? We don't even know. They don't even got no tags on it. We don't know what it's made out of. But it ain't gonna bust no wind chill cold as it gets up here. So that's what the jacket look like. So they running y'all outside every morning, no matter how cold it is. Every morning. With that, that's all y'all got. At the course of the day, okay, finish telling us what y'all do, how your program set up.
Pretty much basically that's it. We outside about 9:30, then just going inside and do some old TC.
Okay. I don't know how is that gonna work. When you got a parole date?
Yeah, it's 2022 though.
2022, so you're looking at another 9 years. So in 9 years, how much time you been did in trade?
Yeah.
How old were you when you first came to prison? When you caught these cases?
17.
17, so you'd be 32. We already talked about the fact that the parole board ain't granting nobody parole. We seen the articles in the Montgomery Advertiser where, they only grant parole to a small percentage of people that even come up for parole. So knowing what your prospects for parole, or how do you deal with that on a day-to-day basis, knowing that these people ain't serious about your education, rehabilitation, and getting you back to the street?
I'm saying it hurt because, I done went to school, got my GED. But it's kind of bad because I ain't going to be able to write to use it on the street for it. I know that probably my first time I go up 9 times out of 10 by me having 2 life sentences and 2 intentional murders. That I ain't going to make parole my first time, probably not my second time, or probably not my third time. So I already got my mindset and my frame that I'm going to be here, I ain't going to go nowhere no time soon. I'll probably do 28, 29 years in prison like most of the other black men who done got life sentences who's doing that stuff now.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's being real, you know what I'm saying? But, that's what Free Alabama Movement, I know you asked a question earlier. You just pretty much got an overview of Free Alabama Movement today. But them the kind of issues that we trying to do, because that breeds hopelessness. You know what I'm saying? That breeds a person who can be ticked off real easy. And then they got us in these cells stacked on top of each other. And we constantly bickering with each other, and it's taking our focus off of the big picture of what these people are really doing to us. They make us be violent and aggressive toward each other, and they keep us from seeing that we trapped in a hellhole, a slave plantation, that really they don't offer us anything. We got a TV, but ain't nothing on the TV. We don't have no, in the blocks where it's majority black, they took all our libraries. We had the libraries and stuff with the CAV. I had went and got all type of GED material for my classes and stuff. They just took all that stuff from us, and you just go right over there to JK where the white inmates at, and they got everything you can ask for. You know what I'm saying? So the opportunities are not there, but that's why we want to try to create opportunities, because they're not going to do them for us. And just tell us what it's like on a day-to-day basis, the overall living, the filth, the things that you see. Give me your perspective on, what you're going to do the next 15, 20, 25 years of your life.
Yeah, I'm going to try to stay clean and positive as I can, man. This is third plate, like, for real, for real. Like, me, I work in the kitchen. I work breakfast shift, so I go to work at like 12:30 at night. And all the rats be running around for real. Y'all probably done seen a couple of them, but it's a whole lot more. Big rats too, not small rats. These big rats, they climb all on the food, and people, they still serve them, and they really don't even care for it.
Oh yeah, they be serving. You done seen them actually serve food?
Yeah, I've seen them actually done that. Drop chicken on the floor, hot dogs on the floor, or corn dogs, French fries on the floor, and they just pick them up. You know what I'm saying? Because they say that by coming out the grease, ain't no germs on the floor, and it's all good. You know what I'm saying? And so they just put it in the pan. They still serve.
I want to get some video. I haven't been able to get in. I got some video from the kitchen, but some of the things you tell me, you got to be there just when it's happening. Because I don't work in there, I can't catch it like that. But I would like to get some more footage just to show people that, this is a sick environment. You know what I'm saying? It's sick from the bottom to the top, from the commissioner on down to the CO1. These people coming in here seeing these things, and they not moved in any kind of way to change it. And the reason why they not moved because of color by skin. They look at us and feel like, there's nothing wrong with treating them like that. And there's nothing wrong with us sleeping on metal beds or concrete slabs. There's nothing wrong with us sleeping on busted mattresses, rats and roaches. They feel like this is okay for us, but we know better and we know different. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. And just talk about, you were young when you came. Talk about how we met and stuff. Talk about some of the other young guys and just what you see coming into the system and what you know lies ahead for these guys.
Like, pretty much basically, the young guys that come tonight, I was young when I came too. They younger than me for real, for a minute. It seems like they really don't have any sense of direction. You know what I'm saying? So, like, then the police that work in things like that, it pretty much ain't gonna collide right. It's gonna be real bad. Somebody gonna get hurt real, real bad.
Because just people don't know what to do. And the environment is so complicated you can't avoid confrontation in the environment. We literally on top of each other.
Yeah.
So, them things are gonna happen. It's just unfortunate that we keep doing it to each other. You know what I'm saying? So, well, TREY, man, we've been trying to run you down. I've been trying to run you down for the longest to get you on here because I want people to see your perspective, understand that there's some young men in here. They looking at your jacket, looking at what you were convicted for, but they not looking at who you are today. You done made a great leap from the person that you came on the street. And I don't witness it personally, just being here with you. And you wasn't no bad kid when you got here. You just had some bad things that were part of the reason that got you here. And you one of the prime examples of a person that can come in and turn their life around. But yet you done these things and you looking ahead and you still see another 20 years in front of you. But, and the system don't make sense. And that's what we're trying to come up with is a way to make a system better so that it'll make sense to us, people doing time. Because you even know that the crime that you were convicted of, you got to serve some time. You know that. But at the same time, you saying you want to get to a point where when you serve a sufficient amount of time, you know that because you done did all the things that you were supposed to do, you know for sure when this parole day coming up that you going home this time. You know, that's what we working toward. That's what Free Alabama Brand is all about. And are you still working in the kitchen today?
Yeah, still working up.
Okay, well tell them how much you get paid for working in the kitchen.
Nah.
Another thing. So how do you take care of yourself? I mean, as a teenager, young man, you know, what do you do? You get with your mom and dad around? Tell me about your family personal thing.
And pretty much I got nobody but my mom. You know, she supported me.
And she can't really support you, you know, in this environment because it takes too much. We have too many needs because we know we come from poor backgrounds. Our folks ain't rich because they were rich, we wouldn't be here. So coming from the backgrounds we come from, our families really can't, you know, give us all the things we need, but we willing to get up and go and work a job every day if they'll just pay us for them. We ain't asking them to give us nothing. So, you know, it's a catch-22, man. It's a difficult situation, but, you know, you got anything you want to share? You know, you want to say something to the people because we want to let you, you know.
So, man, I just said, man, like, we need some help up in here for real. You know what I'm saying? We really, really do. With bad living conditions. Police very disrespectful. And I'm a young dude, you know what I'm saying? These dudes around my age, you know, I ain't disrespectful like that, you know what I'm saying? I know it's older dudes here, and they done been here for a while, so it's kind of hard for them to probably mind things too also. You just need some help in the real bad.
That was up, Trey. I appreciate it, man. And Free Alabama movement, we're going to be doing our thing. We want you to be a part of it. We are calling for a work stoppage. You know, I know that's asking a big sacrifice for guys, because I know y'all have to go in that kitchen and do what y'all have to do so that you can have something in your box. You know what I'm saying? But we asking dudes to sacrifice these jobs, man, and do without for a year so that we can get some people to the street. You know, we got to get a program in place. And the only way we're going to do it is if we leverage our power as laborers and know that we are essential to what's going on. We got to take that labor and tell them we'll go back to work. Y'all agree to do a certain amount of things, and the book will be coming out soon. Make sure y'all get a chance to read it, but you know, that's what we're gonna be asking for. Even the job, they fired me from the last job, but if I get another job, I gotta come off of the job too because this is something that must be done, you know, in order to free Alabama. So free Alabama, man. Good luck, and we'll be looking for your support. Got the next man coming up, brother Poncho. Just met him. He's been in the camp just a little while. He's a very positive-minded brother. He won a set from the north. He's one of his homeboys. He came recommended from one of my best friends. Dude putting in work with me in the movement. Just me, Poncho, and talking to him. I know he's an educated brother. And he has a unique situation, something that I spoke about in the book, you know, with guys, the way the system works. They give us these sentences, split sentences. Same with my little nephew, KB. They do the same thing with him. But his situation is different because he came and served his split, and then after he got out, right?
Now, I ain't got a fresh split on probation. And then they revoked me and took my split because I caught a charge and I wasn't even found guilty yet. He took the split and sent me to prison on my 20-year sentence.
Okay, so the first split, you got probation.
Wow.
No, you came to prison, did the time.
I did the time, got out and killed the probation.
Okay, all right. You didn't do all the probation. You couldn't have killed the probation because they ended up getting you the sentence back.
When I got out of prison,
okay,
I had just did 20 split 5.
You did the 5.
I got out on
15
probation.
years probation.
I had 4 years probation.
Okay.
I did a year and they took me off of it. So when I caught this conspiracy to distribute controlled substance, I caught that to a fresh 20 split 5.
Okay, hold on for a minute. You said they took you off of, you did a year probation, they took you off of probation. What do you mean by that? Explain that.
They suspended my probation.
Okay, they just suspended it. They didn't actually terminate it.
It was over with, terminated.
Well, if they terminated it, then that terminates the sentence. That terminates the balance.
That was dead. That's what I came to prison for last time.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. We're going to get the paperwork on that and look into that and see exactly what's going on with your sentence, because it could very well be that they terminated the sentence and then come back and reincarcerated you for it right now. And what happened to him, like I was explaining in the book, he was on probation. We just say hypothetically, he was on probation on the street and caught a new case. And they violated his probation before he was ever found guilty of anything on the new case. Ended up, he went to trial and proved his innocence on the new case, and here he is right here.
Still here.
Still here. and don't know when he going home. You know, so I'm gonna just get you to now. I'm gonna get you to tell him your name, what county you from, and how much time you done so far.
My name Darius Owen. Everybody know me as Poncho. I'm from Montgomery County. I got conspiracy, distribute, control, and such. I got 20 years sentence, and I so far I did like 20 months on it. And I go on parole originally 2018.
Okay, so that's 5 more years,
Right,
plus the 20 months, 2 years,
right.
plus the 5 you already done. So you end up doing 12 years on the distribution case.
Yeah.
How much whatever the drug was, how much it was?
It wasn't. They didn't even get me with anything. Actually, it was a conspiracy. It was a
Oh,
conspiracy case.
yeah.
It was a conspiracy case that was a federal investigation, and the feds dropped it for lack of evidence. The state picked the case up, and the federal judge had not wanted to get a wiretap to the state DA. So it was 13 of us on the case. 3 of the dudes' phone was tapped. So I got conspiracy because me and this particular dude who case it actually was, he called my phone and said he was on his way. I said okay. By me agreeing, that automatically made me conspiring into whatever he's talking about. But who's to say that it was unlawful what we were talking about because he never said what he was on his way for.
So that's all they got, and you got 20 years of your life.
My most noticed skirt was 2,081 pages long, and my name on that one line, from what I just told y'all. You know, but by me being a habitual offender, and I know if I did attempt to take the trial, but when I seen a couple of people started folding up in the case, and while my name wasn't in the list at the time, I went on copped out to a 20 split 5 and ended up getting 5-year probation for the case.
Okay.
So, you know, I did that because I was a habitual offender.
Yeah.
But
and what he's saying, what he mean by habitual offender, he has prior felony offenses. He knows that if he takes it to trial, he could end up with a life sentence, potentially life without parole. And if y'all remember in the book, the new Jim Crow, Michelle Alexander, she talks about that. She talks about how so many black men are forced to plead guilty for various different reasons for cases, whether they did them or not, because they know if they don't plead guilty, the system going to be rigged up against them, so that if they go to trial, they may end up with life without parole. So he had to weigh his options and make a choice and take a 20 split 5, and that's what he did. And it ended up that it's going to come back to bite him again because now the state then came back with another trumped up charge that he done proved his innocence on and still got him back in prison. So it's just like he went to trial on the conspiracy case because he done did over 12 years in prison. Next time he get an opportunity. There's an opportunity to go up for parole. I want to talk about your education and background and stuff. I know you had mentioned your mom when we were talking about the Free Alabama movement, but I'm going to get personal about you first, and then we're going to talk about the family and the family support you have. Tell me what your education background is as far as education, GED, high school, skill, or trade.
okay, I went to college. You know, I made it all the way to the 12th grade. I got suspended out of school for possession of a concealed weapon. So I never had went back the next year. So what I did, maybe 3-4 years later, I did take my GED, but I was so caught up in my street activity, which was, you know, selling drugs, that, you know, I took my GED test and was speeding to do it. And, you know, I flunked half of my test, and I never did go back and complete it. So here I am now, I'm in prison. Ever since I've been in prison, I've been signing up to get my GED. But the system's so messed up, they want you to have a 6-month club rubber before they even consider you to put you in the class. And then once you sign up for the class, there's a waiting list that you might don't even get on. So that's the situation I'm in. I'm waiting to try to get my GED, but right now I'm in the Life Link program, which is a prison-based certificate program that I'm putting in my jacket, and I'm also tell you I ain't managing again. But as far as education goes, you know, like I said, I made it to the 12th grade, you know, but I ain't never stopped educating myself personally outside of school, you know. I'm street educated, I'm book smart, I like to read. I'm the type of person I sit back in my free time, a dictionary, and just study words and what they mean, because if it ever comes a situation where I'm blessed that somebody give me a job that can help me, and this job might consist of a diploma or GED, but just by me being educated and this person knows that I'm capable because of how I carry myself and how I intellect myself, they might just give me the job and work with me till I get a GED or something. So, you know, sense is everything and knowledge is everything. It's just good to try to study and know as much as possible about different stuff in life because you never know what angle you'll be hit.
Right, that's true. That's true. And he just told y'all, you know, the contradiction. This man in prison with he does, and when they look at his jacket and see that he don't have a GED or high school diploma, he gotta wait to get in the class. He gotta get a 6-month clear record. Education is what will help him start making better choices in decisions. If he don't have a clear record, then that should be a sign that he needs to get in school. But they don't want. They want him to wait till he get a clear record before he can just submit an application. And then when he submits the application, he has to go on the waiting list.
Yeah.
But y'all see inside the blocks that they got us in, we don't have no type of material to keep him occupied until he can get to that point where the state say, okay, you can get in. But you know, it's no different from when 1800 when it was illegal for a black person to get an education in slavery. You know, it's not illegal, but there's so many barriers in place that it's just like he don't have an opportunity to do it. So, you know, that's what Free Alabama Movement is trying to get people to understand that, yeah, we got a lot of people in prison committed crime, but you got a lot of people in prison that's willing to overcome those crimes, that's willing to overcome those mistakes. But the state ain't finna give us no opportunity. They want to keep us dumb because they know that it's easier to control an ignorant person than it is to control an educated person. It's easier to get a person to go for the living conditions that we have if they are ignorant than it is for if you educate that person. And that's why the system is like it is. So that's why Free Alabama Movement is like it is, and that's why we rebelling against the system. We've been talking about supporters and networks and stuff, and you had mentioned your mom. So if you would just share with people, you know, your mom, her background, and why she's going to be so important for you to make your Free Alabama Movement process out of prison.
Well, first of all, you know, I'm real thankful for my mama because I watched my mama been through a whole lot of stuff. We from the projects or whatever, and my mama always made a way for me no matter what the situation was. And she was always the type, she was always going to support me whether I was right or wrong in a situation. But if I'm wrong and before it become a consequence to it, she going to tell me the right way about it. But, you know, my mama, she does have, she's an ordained minister. And, you know, I admire my mama, not just because she's my mama, but because she's a strong woman that, you know, she came from nothing. My mama graduated school. You know, she did hair at home, started when she was 13. We funded the project. My mama did what she had to do and moved us out. And, you know, my mama used to smoke weed. My mama used to drink, and my mama used to club. And, you know, my dad, he was a major drug dealer, and he got my mama at a young age, fascinated with the fine things in life. She done seen the dope game and this, that, and the other, and she done lived the street life. And for her to change her life, just out of nowhere, my mama ain't never smoked no crack or none of that, but my mama ain't never went to rehab for that. My mama just cold turkey, stopped drinking, stopped smoking, stopped clubbing, gave her life back to God, and now she an ordained minister with her own foundation called Two Dove Fund, which her and my Aunt Dora, they run. And, you know, that's my mama's older sister, and she like my second mama, you know, and she developed a lot. You know, I done seen both of them in their prime, drinking heavy, you know, dealing with abusive relationship, being beat on. We got to see this as kids, and then, you know, I don't condone beating on women, but the first thing you think coming up is you supposed to chastise your woman because this what you seen your mama getting done. You feel what I'm saying? And as I got older, I realized that's not what time it is, you know. So my mama, she'll be amazed. Her and my Aunt Dora, they'll be amazed the fact they're pushing the Free Alabama move because they uncomfortable and uncontent with my situation. And, you know.
And they don't even really know how bad it is. We really don't tell our families what we go through. And then sometimes we really don't even realize what we're going through.
Right.
You know, we don't know that these folks, the way they housing us, is below any type of human standard because we don't know what the standard is. You know what I'm saying? But now that we starting to educate ourselves and look around and realize that something is not right, you know, it only makes sense that we'll stand up and do something. And really the question is why we ain't been did nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that's what Free Alabama Movement is all about, man. So tell us where you sleeping at now? What you got going on in the prison?
Okay, I sleep in P1 block, which is like the block don't nobody even want to go to in the camp. You know what I'm saying? But prison, but the environment that I'm in, man, and I'm gonna just be real with y'all. It's fucked up. Excuse my language. It's fucked up. I mean, the water bad. You know, it's always nasty. Even when you clean up, it's still nasty. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like slums. You dealing with like 40-some people in one block, one small microwave. You got 2 TVs, one considered the sports, one considered the movie, which you got to vote on what you gonna watch. That can easily cause a problem.
So one sports TV and one movie TV. Where the educational TV is?
Ain't no educational TV. They barely watch the news to see what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I mean, and this is what the state calls correction. A sports TV and a movie TV is what the DOC calls correction. And we're trying to figure out, what are you trying to correct? You know, when you got a guy sitting in a stationary, solitary environment 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with nothing but a TV, what is you finna correct about this individual? How are you even gonna correct him?
You can't correct nobody. You know what I'm saying? With dealing like that. And then, you know, they say the Alabama Department of Correction. I think it's the Alabama Department of Corruption. It built to corrupt our mind. It meant to corrupt us all type of ways, because you got people in prison, man. You got some people that did time so long, so all the folks that they had that was looking out for them that fell off and dead, this, that, and the other. Then, you know, even just people in prison, they got families. Some people family unable to support them. Some people family be working so hard in the street that they don't got time to write love. They can't afford to accept your phone call. But yet they want to be on us by cell phone, because we trying to make it convenient for us and our family.
Right.
But what they ain't understanding is, if you ain't in tune with the outside world out there, as much as possible, your mind gets so trapped into what's going on in this prison that you can fall weak for it. And what I mean by that is, you got some people, man, they don't got no communication with the outside. They mind trapped in prison. So, you know, some people ain't blessed to have a female friend or a fiance or a wife or a woman that companion mind them. So they look for companion in another man. And you know, like I said, the old prison is built to corrupt you. And what I'm saying, literally, you got men calling another man their wife, because this who they engage in a homosexual activity with for the pleasure of whatever they want they desire to be, or however they see fit to adapt to do their time. And most of the time, this come from because they ain't got no focus, they ain't got no contact with the outside world.
We blocked off from them.
And now it's to the point where the prison making it worse. High phone calls. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on one second. What the timer like on that? Cause we can't go over 30 minutes.
Right at it.
Right,
You got 3 more. You got